Have you lost your entire mind, Crypto Daily? 30K Bitcoin? Really? Yeah. Well, I'll present you with some evidence. Not evidence, some reasoning. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a financial advisor. However, I thought this was interesting. I'll share it with you. First of all, though, let's have a look at the market. Oh my goodness. What caused this dip? Well, according to some, CoinMarketCap.com caused it. How did they do that? Well, they did it sneakily with no warning. They just pulled the plug on it. However, what they've done is they've removed the pairings from Korean exchange prices to the prices that we see here in dollars or whatever you set it to. They've removed the Korean prices from them. Now, Korean prices were always at a premium, so that's why they've done this. They want to get a more realist terms, because if every exchange has it around the same price and then there's one country whose exchanges have it at a third higher, then yeah, I can kind of understand that. But the problem was how suddenly they did it. Things like Ripple, for example, which were heavily sustained by the price on the Korean exchanges, when they pulled the plug on that, and I can show you what I mean. Ripple, for example, the Korean pairing up here, it has a price of 356. It's 256 elsewhere. So there's this little asterisk next to the price. If you look down below, it says its price is not included. So that little move wiped 20 billion. How much did it wipe? Yes, around 20 billion off of Ripple's market cap, lowering the price of each coin dramatically. What do people do when they see that there's a dip? Do they panic? Experienced hodlers like Mr. Bean don't, but most people who are weak-handed will get scared, will attempt to cut their losses before they lose any more money. So this is the part that I feel was totally irresponsible on CoinMarketCap's part, without warning people, without having, you know, one of those, I have an ad blocker, but the ad banners at the top, instead of using BitConnect one day, maybe they could have warned people. Or so, anyway, what am I complaining at? I actually still use the website. I'm going to use it because it's popular. But yeah, I'm fueling the problem. One centralized website can have this effect on crypto. It's pretty scary. Ethereum at number 2, because Ripple lost a lot of its market cap, showing a lot of resilience against this downfall, which is great. Ethereum is really showing itself to be a viable and somewhat stable alternative to Bitcoin as a store of value, especially as altcoin pairings against the price of Ethereum are getting more popular. You can buy more altcoins with Ethereum nowadays, and the more that gets popular, the more easily Ethereum can be the backbone of crypto land. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but yeah, pretty much everything down, even Dogecoin, surprisingly. No, I know it's not surprising. The thing that's surprising about it is that it's still down on the day where both John McAfee and BBC on its front page was talking about Dogecoin. Don't believe me? Why not? Well-deserved price hike, he says. And then, forget Bitcoin. Now Dogecoin goes wild. But yeah, Bitcoin's not been too wild as of late. Interestingly enough, if you have a look at the historical data, there was a point in the last 30 days where the total market cap for cryptocurrency was about $219 billion, and a recent high yesterday of around $294 billion. During that time, so on December 9th, Bitcoin was at 16.5K. December 10th, it was at 15.1K. 30 days later, what's it done? Considering that there was almost 80 billion added to the market at a certain point, it's still 17.5 yesterday, 15 today. Again, though, Koreans, not wildly fluctuating upwards Bitcoin as of now, like a lot of altcoins, or we're just in the regular wave, and a 30K Bitcoin is just around the corner. According to this, 33. This is the Bitcoin boom bust cycle of this year. Let me move myself down here a little bit. I'm so small now. December 2016, a drop of 37.5%. 34% in March 2017. 41%. 25, 30, 46. Big one. But as you can see, a general trend. Now, this is not financial advice, not an accredited advisor. If previous activity is an indicator of future activity, then we are due for a boom. An average boom at this point would be 155% gain for Bitcoin. That would put it at 30K, or specifically 33K by mid-February. Time will tell if that's true. I think this infographic, as interesting as it is, as potentially truthful, however, it could be wildly wrong. One thing it's not taken into account is the fact that altcoins have gotten a lot more popular. I mean, even some newbies to crypto are buying Bitcoin only to buy Ripple straight away, because that's what got them interested. They heard it gets gains. Now on to more troubling news. Not troubling at all, but troubling for some. China banning mining. Is it true? Well, there was some leaked documents. I should have looked at the camera when I did that. Anyway, there were some leaked documents 2 days ago stating from government officials that they were looking to do so. Reasons being that it's very wasteful, that electricity could be going to more needed areas. And they're taking advantage of the scenario. While this is all true, the leaked documents might not be. However, there was some legitimate added to the claims. Have a look in this article. I'll get myself out of the way first. I'll link this article below. Zhang from the Tianjin office confirmed the authenticity of the local document, but refused to comment on the national level one. This doesn't really mean too much. Hash Power, by the way, is those guys that are dedicating their computer resources to confirm your transactions for you. Should China be out of it, 2/3 of Bitcoin's hash power will be gone. During that time, transactions would be extremely slow and extremely expensive, far more than it is now, at least until Bitcoin automatically readjusts itself. But to be honest, they're not gonna just pack up and stop. They're gonna move somewhere else. They're gonna go Canada, possibly. So realistically, it doesn't mean too much. Now, as I was talking about waves, one thing I've noticed is that ICOs particularly were very popular in the summer. They dropped off in popularity towards the end of last year. Could they come back in popularity? Now, waves come and go. Basically, it's what the market feels will get the money. And when that's no longer getting the money, they move on to the next thing. Waves. Astor game. It's a blockchain that you can bet on the results of esports, actual sports. Sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone with that. Lottery, casino, and some more esports. On their roadmap, apparently the platform will be released in May, the beta, as well as a wallet and start of their marketing campaign. It's actually a really long roadmap, one of the largest I've seen, up until 2020, which is the platform for the lottery release. There will be 100 million tokens minted. People ask, why can't they just use Bitcoin or Litecoin or something? And if you see ICOs as more of a fundraising to use the platforms, and the token buys you access to use that platform, that kind of makes more sense. While it is supposedly technically possible to use Bitcoin or Litecoin, the infrastructure to use those. But yes, if people feel that ICOs are a good way to go, a good way to make money again, if this does well, this will prove it. Because the platform isn't released until May, so it'll be more of a speculative investment. Does the market like to speculate? I'll be keeping an eye on this. Lastly, I thought I'd end on some twisted irony. This man bought 3.1 Bitcoins 2 years ago. That was around $5,000 to buy that much 2 years ago. Today, he's worth, after paying off the ransomware, by the way, £24,000. That's like $27,000, $28,000, very roughly. So from feeling stupid to having a massive wad, thank you for hijacking my PC. 1010 would get hacked again.